Okay, guys, we're back here for another video. I said I was going to come back and kind of talk about the Braxtons, the season two. Is this episode one? I don't even remember. But anywho, I want to talk about this episode and kind of go over not necessarily a recap, but I want to talk about, kind of what I saw when I watched the episode. And let me just look and see what they call the title of the episode, because I don't even remember. They actually called it, this is going to be episode 1, New Hustles, Old Wounds. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Like I said, I'm not going to do a per scene and talk about every single thing, because a lot of that stuff they could have just not even showed it. Like all of the stuff with Tamar getting her cosmetic surgery, we didn't need to see all of that. But make sure you liking the video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, and right after the intro we're going to get into it.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Now, y'all, let's kind of jump into it. Like I said, this is not going to be a long video. I am not going to talk about every single thing, but I really call this episode Deflection to me. And I'm going to tell you why. I watched it over and over because I like to watch them, the show, so I can get a sense of what I want to say. And for this one, it kind of fell flat. But one thing that stood out was the deflection and the no accountability. Okay. We spoke about Tracy in an earlier video. Now, what I gathered from this particular coming back, this is season 2, after they rebrand from the Braxton's Family Values, where everybody was dragging them saying, y'all say nobody's values. Don't nobody want to be crazy like y'all. So I'm so glad it's just the Braxtons. So this is what I gathered from what everybody was saying. And when I say everybody, I'm going to talk about all of the sisters and Mama Eaton, or Miss Evelyn, what her name is. What that mama name is, Evelyn, Mama Evelyn, or whatever. It looks like they were saying that they wanted to restore their sisterhood. They were excited about this season. And they felt like, I believe the mothers, I don't know if the mother said it, but one of them said that they felt like the fans wanted to see the Braxtons have a good time. And I just was looking like, want to see y'all have a good time. Keep that in y'all mind. One person said they are looking forward to having a lot of fun. Now, another sister said the girls, they pretty much miss how it was when they were kids growing up. Y'all know, I'm sure y'all have a bunch of relationships, because I have some people that I grew up with. And then when you get grown, you realize like, we ain't really that cool like that. Okay. So what they were saying is they miss the past, but what happens is when you come into adulthood, you deal with adult issues. See, stuff happened to you when you are a child that you have no control over. But what happens when you become an adult, you can look back and say, damn, why did that happen to me? And as an adult, you make a choice not to go back down that road. So the girls miss how they were in the past. But the issue here is you're not a child anymore. What they want to do is remember their past before things got so heavy, before they became adults. And, Tracy pointed out that she was treated different. Tamar pointed out that something happened to her within her family and nobody stood up for her. Ashley was she was, things happened to Ashley. So things have happened to them in this family, and they're just not adult enough to take responsibility. And I'm not trying to get preachy on y'all, but I believe it says somewhere in the Bible to apologize for like nothing. Like even if you didn't do anything, you can apologize, because here's the deal. If you grew up in a house with somebody and you said, when you used to say this to me, it made me feel this way, why in the hell would I argue you down that didn't happen when it is your experience? So the problem with these people is nobody, when I say nobody, all the way down to the mama, nobody takes accountability for nothing. Nobody. Okay. So they want to restore their sisterhood. They're excited about season 2. They want to get over the heaviness of their relationships, okay? They want things to be back the way that they were a long time ago. And that's where I'm going to, I'm going to stop, because the entire show was about deflection, okay? When I watched the show, I got a sense of, yeah, I saw this before, because what we're seeing now is, okay, Ashley, Ashley was online talking about her problems or what happened. They're saying they don't even know what Ashley is talking about. Why is Ashley online talking about these things? Why would she do that? Why would anybody just go online and not talk to the person they have the problem with? Again, deflection. You knew whenever it happened. So don't try to make Ashley seem like a bad person, because she decided in her healing journey to talk about what happened to her. Stop that mess. Again, deflection. We're going to now use Ashley and make money now off of her and her pain. We're going to exploit her pain. Again, we have saw this story before with the Braxtons. We saw it with Tracy. We saw it with Tamar. This is something that they do. Okay. So we saw that, Trina, okay? Ashley, you shouldn't have went to social media. Trina's like, hey, I'm going to let her, have whatever it is she, is feeling and going through. And I'm not trying to blame the victim. But you are, girl. You are blaming the victim. So it was a little cringy to see all of them say what they said. And not to mention Toni Braxton, who had a problem with Tamar for bringing Ashley on the show. Why? I mean, we hear about abuse all the time. Why is it that Ashley cannot talk about whoever abused her? Was it you, Toni? Like, who was the other person? She said it was 2 people. Who was the other person? Who can confirm who both of the people were? So again, deflection. They want to deflect. Nobody wants to take responsibility. And in fact, they don't even want to own up to whoever did it, even if it wasn't them. So here's the thing. They will never restore their sisterhood. They will never get back to the innocence of when they were a child, and they can just, love their sister and have that easy peasy. That is gone forever, because I'm going to tell you why. When you do not take responsibility and don't have genuine love for people, how in the world can you finish? I'm sorry, not finish. How can you get over such hurt? Tamar said that she was essayed by somebody in her family. I believe she said it was 2 people. And for her family to know, Tamar said that her own family told her they would not help her. Imagine the kind of hurt that Tamar must have. Imagine the type of hurt that she still has. When we see Tamar acting out now, at first I was like, this woman is a nutcase. I believe that has a lot to do with what happened to her and how her own family has decided to handle it. So we're just talking about this one issue, okay? Then we have Ashley. This girl done flew to the United States from where she lived to see if this is going to be something that is going to be over, and maybe they can see each other every a couple of holidays a year. But what we learned from Tamar is, because Tamar was asked something along the lines, did she believe that this helped Ashlee in her healing journey? And what she said was she believes that it set her back because of the way her family dealt with it. So this family is horrible. And I said what I said. I'm not saying that, other families don't do this, but I will say this. They decided to be on reality TV, which they just don't seem like a good candidate because they don't talk about the issues. They lie, deflect, and act like they don't know what the hell is going on. And it really makes people not like them. Why would you go on a platform, reality TV, to talk about your life, but you don't talk about your life? You deflect. Every season, they pick somebody in their family to exploit. Every season. Why doesn't Tamar talk about her son? Why doesn't Tony talk about her sons? Towanda don't talk about her kids. Trina don't talk about her kids. Do y'all understand where I'm going with this? But last season, you have Tracy and her son exploited. Do y'all understand now? It's Ashlee. This is not the way that this is supposed to go. And I know they read the comments. I know they listen to what people say because I just listened to some of their interviews. And if you listen to the interview that Trina just did, she said people was complaining about them calling the show Braxton Family Values. Absolutely. Well, here's the issue with the Braxtons now, because now it's the Braxtons. I feel like people will not like this show until they deal with the real issues. And when I say deal with the real issues, stop deflecting, acting like everybody is a liar and as if they don't know what is going on. Toni Braxton was my number one fave. Girl, I don't even like you no more because you brought your tail on this public platform and made it seem as if you didn't know what the hell Ashlee was talking about, and you didn't know what she was saying about your family, as if Ashlee is not your damn niece. And you know that Ashlee's mother abandoned her. You know how her relationship is with your brother and how that is, and you still, y'all are still treating her like this. So I don't know. I don't know about this show. It is really cringy. And this is the same shit that they do each and every season. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the same stuff that they do each and every season. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure why they decide to do reality TV. Well, I know they need the money, but the fact of the matter is, it's just not a good show. It's not, because again, they deflect too much. They're not dealing with the issues. It's always, this person is lying or that person is lying. They lied on Tracy, made it seem like everything Tracy said was a lie, when Tracy was on this show working hard, just like them, and was never, ever an executive producer or nothing of this show. So when Tracy talks about the way that she was treated, it's clearly evident that she was treated like that because we can watch and see. And then why is it that she's not, or she was never allowed to be an executive director or producer of the show that she was on? So that's my gripe with these people. They're horrible. They deflect. They do not handle issues. And every single thing is about deflection. They have a history of no accountability, and it is continuing into this season. We've saw this before. This is a playover of last season. Last season, it was Tracy's son. Now this season is Ashlee. Again, Tawanda's, I think her daughter graduated. All of these women have children. They don't want to talk about their own kids, but yet they want to bash their own niece, nephew, sister in order to collect a check. but then act as if nothing is wrong in a crazy ass family. Okay. Ooh, yeah.
Nothing got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell 'cause the tea don't stop.